In 2005, Microsoft faced criticisms on issues of slavery and colonization for its new release, The Age of Empires 3, which is based on the settlement of America by European powers. In order to offset the criticisms that Native Americans were marginalized in the game, Microsoft considered a focus group of Native Americans within the company. As a result, the basic game included indestructible Native American villages, and players could use Native American resources and make Native American units and utilize their technology. Contrary to the criticisms, Microsoft issued a statement: "We wanted to be sensitive to the Native American perspective, but we are making entertainment here, not pushing any sort of political agenda." In an ironic twist that might actually make the game more historically accurate, since while the team worked to emphasize the positive aspects of Native American cultures, they didn't shy away from some of the negative ones either. The Carib, for example, were cannibals, something mentioned in the game's historical database. The focus group of Native Americans advised against setting the indigenous Americans as playable race, since the potential to totally wipe out each race was felt too close to the ugly truth of the history itself. However, the expansion pack for the game, The Age of Empires 3 War Chiefs, released in 2006, almost immediately after the main version, deliberately inverted these pacifist sentiments. This time players could choose 3 indigenous races in order to fight back against the conquest of America. The game's success has been attributed to its brilliant AI. AI specialist Dave noted that the development team gave the AI in the original game a very high priority and spent over a year working on it. He said that the AI in the game relies on tactics and strategies to win, instead of cheating by giving bonus resources or tweaking its units to be stronger than normal, something which was typical in games during that time. In the first iteration of the game, the team worked from 10 AM to midnight on every single day except Sunday, when they worked from noon to midnight. They did this for an exhausting 9 months to complete the game on schedule. Not only were the game's developers on an insane schedule, but they were all working in one single room. Some illogical in-game setting and gameplay sequence grabbed attention of gamers and was deeply criticized and made fun of, such as Chinese didn't have gunpowder units despite being the inventors of gunpowder. Trading in Middle Ages meant load your cart with gold and give nothing in return. Crops could be put on fire with just a few hits of a ram. A building could catch a fire after being stabbed multiple times by an infantry unit. Due to its setting in the medieval ages and its emphasis on the historical data, many people applauded the educational value in the video game. According to Shelley, parents would come to him and tell him that their children were inspired to study ancient histories and cultures because of their experiences with the game. Historically, the Saladin lost the siege of Acre, and the siege in the campaign of the game is inaccurately depicted. If the game had been correct, Saladin would be in a camp surrounding the Crusaders' camp, who would be camped surrounding the Acre. Saladin was attempting to crack the Crusaders before they cracked Acre. In the building unit called Market, players could exchange a type of resource for gold and vice versa. The interesting part is the amount of gold a player gives for a fixed amount of commodity depends upon the game's real-time demand and supply for that particular commodity being traded among the players. For example, if a player wants to purchase wood, and the demand for wood among players happens to be high, then the player would have to pay more gold to the market for fixed amount of wood. RTS-based games, especially the Age of Empires, have been created for enhancing one's high-order thinking skills such as strategy thinking, interpretive analysis, problem solving, plan formulation and execution, and adaptation to rapid change. In 1995, Ensemble Studios were formed by Tony Goodman, Rick Goodman and John Boxcott as an independent developer, and 1997 they came out with their hit game, The Age of Empires. In 2001, their initial success paid for the development of not only a sequel but an acquisition of the company by Microsoft, where it operated as an internal studio until 2009, when it was officially disbanded. Ensemble Studios had quite a reputation as a grade A game developer, which is why people were so confused as to why it was disbanded by Microsoft. And this is when the fate for the next sequel of the Bollywood Age of Empires series, The Age of Empires 4, became uncertain. Well, the truth is that nobody really knows whether or not there will be a release date for The Age of Empires 4, or if the Microsoft is planning to work on it at all. In 2016, as part of an Ask Me Anything session on Reddit, a player leapt in to ask this: "Mr. Gates, can we please have another Age of Empires? Not sure if this is your department, but I figured I would ask since you were here." Bill Gates replied by writing, "I will look into this. How many empires do you want?" It's up to you to judge what he meant. But if there's no news of Age of Empires 4 in this decade, then probably Age of Empires 4 is a forgotten name, someday to be erased from history to the slow passage of time.